All right, the next video this week is how to follow 5 steps for making a box and whisker plot. So whenever we make a box and whisker plot, we do it with the right after we find the interquartile range, because basically if you know how to find the interquartile range from our previous video, then making a box and whisker plot is not too bad. So step 1, put your data in order. So I'm going to refer to this data down here where it says use the steps above to make a box and whisker plot of the ages and years of spider monkeys at a zoo. So when I look at my data set, the first thing I want to do, and I think you've kind of already noticed, is the first thing that we have typically always do is putting my data set in order. So as I put my data set in order, I'm going to cross off the numbers as I use them to make sure that I don't miss any numbers, because I can always fill in missed numbers after I set up my data. Looks like there's 3 30s. Let's see, 33, 35, and 36, and 38. So I'm just going to count to make sure I didn't miss any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I didn't miss any. Second step, find the median. All right, well, I remember how to do that from last week. So 14 goes with 38, 15 goes with 36, 20 goes with 35, 26 goes with 33, 27 goes with 30, 30 goes with 30. All right, so here's my median right here. So my median in this case is 30. Third step, find the lower quartile and upper quartile. All right, so remember, the lower quartile is the middle number of the lower half. So 14 goes with 30, 15 goes with 27, 20 goes with 26. All right, so it's right in between 20 and 26. Now remember from my previous video, if you can't see the difference or what the middle number would be between 20 and 26, you can always add them up and divide by 2. So the middle number between 20 and 26 would be 23. And we call that the lower quartile, or the Q1. Now I'm going to look at my upper half because that's my upper quartile. So 30 goes with 38, 30 goes with 36, 33 goes with 35. So right here is my Q3. That's my upper quartile. Again, maybe in this one, I'll give you an example. If I can't see what the middle number is, I'm going to add 33 and 35, and I'm going to take those two numbers, get the sum of 68, and cut it in half. And that median, that upper quartile, is going to be 34. So now I find the median, then I find the lower quartile, then I find the upper quartile. You can tell it's pretty similar to finding the interquartile range. Step 4, draw a number line. My number line needs to include the least and the greatest value. Okay, so my lowest value is 14. My highest value is 38. When I draw my number line, I can count by whatever I want to count by. It doesn't matter. I can count by 1s, which I don't think I'm going to have enough room for that. I can count by 2s. I can count by 3s. I can count by 5. It truly doesn't matter what I count by, as long as I stay consistent. So if I want to count by 2s, I can't start counting by 2s and then all of a sudden say, oh, I don't want to count by 2s anymore. I want to count by 5s. You just need to make sure that you keep your number line counts consistent. 28, 30, let's see, 32, 34, 36, 38. Okay, so my highest value is 38, so I'm going to stop my number line at 38. My lowest value is 14, so I want to start my number line at 14. I made sure that I counted consistently by 2s. All right, step 5. Graph my points that represent my 5-number summary. So I know you can't read least value, first quartile, median, third quartile, and greatest value. So on my number line here, my least value in this case is 14. So I am going to put a dot at 14 because that's my least value right there. My lower quartile is 23. So here's 22, one more over, here's 23. That's my lower quartile. My median is 30. So I'm going to put a dot up here at 30. My upper quartile is 35. So I'm going to put a dot right here at 35. So now I'm going to box it in. So my sixth step is to draw a box using my quartiles. So from 23 all the way to 34 is my box. Draw a line through the median. So right here is the median. Draw one whisker from the box to the least value. Draw another whisker from the box to the greatest value. Oh, I forgot to put the dot for the greatest value. So the greatest value is 38. So my other whisker. So this is a box and whisker plot. So to recap, so the box right here represents the inner quartile range. So this box right here equals 50% of my data. So 50% of my data is the box, because some of your homework assignments today may ask you this week, what percent of the spider monkeys were 22, inches to 34, or ages, I apologize, how age. So what percent of the spider monkeys were 23 years old to 34 years old? And you could say, well, that's my box, so that's 50% of my data. Then the lower part, this part right here, the lower quartile, this right here represents 25% of my data. So 25% of the monkeys ranged between the ages of 14 and 23. Then this part right here, well, this represents the other 25% of my data. So then the whisker, 25% of my data, 25% of the spider monkeys range from age 34 to 38. So the box is half of my data. This whisker is 25% of my data. And then this whisker is 25% of my data.